G'day everybody, Nick here from Supercheap CPAP, and today I'm going to be taking you through a little advanced tutorial on how to get into the clinical settings of the Fisher & Paykel Icon Plus, or Icon for that matter. It's pretty much the same, but we'll focus on the Icon Plus for today's tutorial. Now, the clinical settings are sort of advanced settings. Obviously, you have your normal patient settings, which you can check out in your manual if you want to learn how to change them. Plus, we've also just done a video on that. But clinical settings are settings that actual CPAP consultants and sleep scientists use to adjust things like the CPAP pressure. So they're just a little bit more advanced. But I'm going to show you how to get into them so you can actually start, I guess, getting personal with your own therapy and learning how to control your own sleep and your own therapy. So in order to do this, with this machine, all the different machines have a little bit of a combination you need to do. And with this one, it's quite simple. All we do is with one thumb, we hold in the round middle button here. And with our finger, we rotate the dial right around to 6 o'clock. And now we're in clinical settings. It's that easy. Very simple. Now I'm going to take you through all these different ones here so you know what to change. So the first thing up on here, it says auto with that dot. If we click that, auto starts flashing and we can actually rotate the dial and change it between automatic and CPAP. Automatic being variable pressure, so the machine automatically titrates the pressure throughout the night to give you more of an optimal therapy, more of a tailored therapy. And CPAP being fixed pressure, so the machine's going to be set at one fixed rate of pressure. The machine will just run at that, ramp up to that pressure and sit at that one pressure throughout the night. So I'm just going to keep it at auto for now, so I'm just going to lock in auto. If I go down one now, so one around to the right here, you can see that it says auto min and 4. This is the base level of therapy. So this is where the lower limit of therapy, you can't go any lower than 4. 4 is the minimum that it produces, and sometimes people on 4 might feel like there's not enough actual pressure coming through the device. So we can actually change this minimum pressure. We can go upwards. All I've done there is click the middle button and just rotate the dial, and you can see the number goes up. So we can actually increase the lower limit. Alright. Sometimes, if you have a full face mask, you might be better off starting at 5 or 5.5 because sometimes 4 can feel a little bit suffocating. But this is sort of how you change that. So let's just increase that to 5. We'll increase the auto min to 5. And then once we click it again, it says auto max, and this is the maximum therapy, it's the maximum pressure limit, okay, and the highest it can go is 20. So if we leave it at 20, at the moment the machine can run between 5 and 20. That's the range, and the machine will determine what the correct pressure is based on your breathing, okay, but that's where it has the rules where it can go between 5 and 20. If we're still finding that at the beginning there's not enough air coming through, we can go up higher than 5. Sometimes people like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's all just personalized, so just find what's comfortable for you. But that's how you change the minimum. One reason why you might change, if you don't press any buttons after a little while, it just gets out of that clinical setting, so you have to go back into it. So I'll just go back in again, press and hold, go back in. So let's go to that maximum pressure again. So we'll click it. So we've got 5 there. You've got to click it to get through to the max. Okay, max 20. One reason we might like to change the maximum pressure is if the pressure's getting so high that it continually wakes us up and it makes the therapy very difficult to use. Obviously the machine is going up to that high pressure because it's trying to open up your airway, but sometimes it can have the negative effect of just frequently making life difficult and making your sleep fragmented because you continuously wake up due to the high pressure. So it's kind of defeating the purpose of it, if you will. So sometimes what we do is we'll actually bring the max, we'll actually cap the pressure at a lower level just to provide a bit more comfort. And I'll show you in a sec how we can actually tailor this comfort so that we're not decreasing that, we're not capping it too low so that the actual therapy becomes inefficient and stops working for us. Right, but we can do that. That's something we can do if we need to, okay? But for now, I'll just leave it at 20. So if we go down one more again, it says menu 2 here. This is if I want to change it so that it's a very basic menu for an actual patient. So I can change it between 1 and 2. 2, you can see it's got a whole lot more features, and 1, they only got a couple of features. It's only got the humidity. So if I don't want to get, make it too complex for a patient, I set it on menu 1. It makes it very easy for them. Otherwise, if I set it on number 2 there, you've got a lot more options, and it can sometimes confuse people. Okay, but I'm going to leave it on number 2 because I obviously know what I'm doing. Then I've got the SensorWake, this one here. Okay, I talked about SensorWake last video. The machine, if you've got it switched on, the machine will drop the pressure if it senses you're awake to help you get back to sleep. Okay, it's a really cool feature. And then you've got whether or not they show the time or the pressure. So we can set it so it's running, shows the time as a clock, or we can set it as it shows the pressure. And we go down 1. This is the time, so we can set the time, click, and you can change the time if you need to. Leave it as it is for now. Alright, and then obviously you've got the data as well there, where you can check out the data. And the last one is just tells you a little bit about the machine, how many hours it's used, what version the software is, and just a few things that it's currently automatic with SensorWake, and ThermoSmart is plugged in. So that's pretty cool. It's not too difficult. Don't shy away from it. Now, just while I've got you here and your attention, I'll just show you how we can sort of fine-tune that upper and lower limit if we want to, if we need to. So I'm just going to go back out again to the patient settings. I'm going to rotate the dial all the way around down to the little squiggly line, the data one there. I'll just maybe come in a little bit so you can see. So the data one is just a little bit right from 6 o'clock. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to rotate the dial round to where I see 90% pressure. Okay, it's down here. It says 4.5. So this is that number that tells us that the machine is the pressure. I always struggle to explain this part. 90% of the night, the machine is below this number. All right, so 90% of the night, the machine is below 4.5. So if your machine was say this 90th percentile pressure was say 12, well, realistically, you could set your upper limit at 12, and it will control 90% of your sleep apnea. Okay, so that's a way to sort of work out where your upper limit can be. You might want to give it a little bit of breathing room, so maybe 13 or 14. This is only if it's bothering you, by the way. If your upper limit isn't bothering you and the pressure's not getting really, really high and waking you up, then don't worry about it. But if it is, these are some things you can do to sort of just make your therapy a bit more comfortable. So we look at this number and we go, okay, 4.5 is quite low, but let's just choose, say it's 10. Excuse me. If it's at 10, we can go back out of these, go back into our clinical settings and bring the upper limit down to 10. And we know that, the machine is still going to be able to treat 90% of our sleep apnea, which is a pretty good value. 90% is pretty good. We don't have to get every single event, just aiming to take the stress of the body off the body during the night so that we can get a nice sleep cycle. So I'm going to go back out now and just imagine this number's 10. So I'm going to go back up to the top here, click it. I'm going to go back and get out of this. And now I'm going to go into the clinical settings like we did before. Press and hold, rotate, 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 rotate down. And now I'm going to click, just rotate one down to where it says auto min 5. Click that, and we're going to leave that at 5. So click it again. But we've got to go through this. It's the only way to get to the auto max. Click it again, and it'll say auto max 20. So I'm going to bring that down now to 11. My P90, my 90th percentile was 10. I'm going to bring it down to 11 just to give me a little bit of a buffer. And that way now my machine's going to run from 5 to 11. I know that the machine's going to stay really nice and comfortable for me because it's not going to be going into those really extreme pressures. But at the same time, I'm going to be able to get 90% of my apnea under control, which is really, really good. And what I can actually do then as well, I can actually check this of a day to check my apnea-hypopnea index to double check that that's okay. So if I keep going around here, say I've just changed this. Is the first night I've changed it. I've woken up the next day. I go to the graph where my therapy is. I rotate down to where the apnea-hypopnea index is. You'll see it. It says AHI there, AHI 2.0. And I click, because at the moment it's on 30 days. If I click, I want to see last night's. And last night's came in as 2.2. Well, you know, I know that my apnea is really well controlled at 2.2, so I'm pretty happy with that pressure change I've done. I'm not getting those extreme pressures that were waking me up previously, and now I'm also, I know that my breathing is also really well controlled and my apnea is under control. So I've made my therapy a whole lot more comfortable than it previously was, but without affecting my apnea-hypopnea index. And that way, you're getting maximum benefit out of your machine. So I hope you've enjoyed this little demonstration video. Please like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want a few more educational videos. We're starting to put together a bit of a library there. You can head on over to our website, supercheapcpap.com.au, and you can actually chat with us on the website if you like. We have a little chat that we run down the bottom right hand side of the website page, so you can chat to experts any time of the day. Thanks again. I hope you're getting some good sleep, and I hope we can help you get a better sleep. Cheers. Bye.